Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwarash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and sincere Shalom to the hopeful elect out there listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom to you all. This is Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 14. Let not the wages of any man which hath wrought for thee tarry with thee, but give him it out of hand. For if thou serve the Most High, he will also repay thee. Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversation. So if you hire somebody to do a job for you, let's say I need, I'm making a driveway in my backyard, right? And I need you to pour some concrete, and it's an 8-hour job, right? Well, at the end of that 8 hours, what I'm supposed to do according to the Bible, according to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, is I'm supposed to pull out my wallet and give you your day's wages right there. Okay, now how many jobs out there do that? Very few, if any. I've never heard of a job that does that, right? Because in Esau's kingdom, okay, you have to wait at least 1 week, right? And technically it's 2 weeks, because when you first get a job, the first week you don't get paid. Then the second week you get paid for the last week, and the third week you get paid for the second week. So it's on a 1 week delay, but you do get paid every week. And some jobs you get paid once every 2 weeks. You see? Let's continue. Verse 15, do that to no man which thou hatest. Right, so don't do what you would hate someone to do to you. Don't do that to somebody else, right? If you would like to get paid every day, don't be waiting a whole fucking week to pay somebody, man. All right, and this goes with anything, man, right? If you were poor or needy, right? Would you like people to help you out? Or would you like people to put more burden on your shoulder, more weight on your shoulder, to make your life even harder? You see, the way America does, Babylon, right? Because when you're poor, the system is set up so that, basically being homeless is a crime. And once you commit a crime, it's harder to find a job. So now if you're homeless, how are you going to find a job if it's harder to get a job now that you committed a crime for being homeless? You see? And once you're homeless, right, your health starts to go down, deteriorate. Once your health deteriorates, your mental faculties aren't right. If your mental faculties aren't right, it's hard to get a job. If you don't have a job for a while, guess what? It's hard to get an apartment, because now you got to prove that you had a job for so long, right? And if you haven't had a job for a long time, guess what? It's harder to find a job. So this whole system is set up opposite to the scriptures, man. The scriptures tells you to have mercy on the poor and to do unto others as you will have them do unto yourself. But Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, doesn't do that. All right, he's a selfish adult child who just wants to heap all treasure to himself. All right, mainly these wicked elites, these international banking families, Rothschilds, Rockefellers. All right, but even the everyday run-of-the-mill cracker trash Edomite out here has the same mindset as the elites. And that's why to this day, the majority of them aren't putting the blame on their elites. They're still blaming us minorities for all their problems, as if we have any power in our hands, man. We really don't. Okay? Let's read verse 15 again. Do that to no man which thou hatest. Drink not wine to make thee drunken, neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey. Right? Don't be drinking to be, overly drunk, right? There's a balance and moderation with that. And neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey, right? It's not wise to drink and drive, okay? Or to, be drunk out of your mind and step into a car. Nah, sober down first. All right? Verse 16, give of thy bread to the hungry, and of thy garments to them that are naked. Right, so the scriptures tell us to look out for these people that are in a bad case. All right, and it's just common sense too, because you can see, like, if somebody's in that low position, it doesn't make them a bad person. You shouldn't punish somebody who's already unfortunate. You should try to help them up, give them a helping hand so they can get to zero, right? It's like, you know, it's like when you get in debt. What do these companies do? They charge you more for being in debt. You know what I'm saying? It's the opposite. You need to help somebody who's fallen to a certain point, man. It's like if you fall into a hole, instead of me helping you out, I start, dumping water down that hole to drown you. You see? This shit don't make no sense, man. All right? Give of thy bread to the hungry, and of thy garments to them that are naked, and according to thine abundance give alms. Right? So if you have a lot of money, give alms. Give a lot of alms according to what you got, right? So if you got, let's say you got $100, you could give 10, 20, right? But if all you got is $10, well, you could give $1 or $2. Just an example. Nothing specific there, just an example. It says, and let not thine eye be envious when thou givest alms. Pour out thy bread on the burial of the just, but give nothing to the wicked, right? Yeah, because these wicked, man, these Edomites, and, anyone who's wicked out here, okay, don't give to them, man. Give alms only to those who are just, okay? So with that, the main point I wanted to go into, but I like this whole, there's a lot of good eating here. But the main point I wanted to go into is this first part, man, where it says in verse 14, let not the wages of any man which hath wrought for thee tarry with thee, but give him it out of hand. For if thou serve the Most High, he will also repay thee. Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversation. Right? So the point is that you're supposed to pay your workers the same day that they work. Every day you should get a paycheck, not once a week. Okay, and that's, I'm bringing that out to speak against America and its wickedness, man. All right, and we're going to get a precept to this. This is Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 14. Thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy land within thy gates. See, so you're not supposed to oppress anybody, that's working for you, that's poor. Verse 15, at his day thou shalt give him his hire, right? At the end of the day, you give him what he made for you in that day. So if he worked 8 hours, you pay him for 8 hours at the end of the 8 hours. Simple. Neither shall the sun go down upon it, right? Don't be like, oh, wait, I gotta, it's a process. I gotta go through this thing and that thing and this, that, and the third, and tomorrow you'll get your paycheck. No, even that is too slow. Even that is it's gotta be the end of the day. For he is poor, right? Because he is poor, man. Don't you get it? You dirty Edomites. All right? Here you got CEOs of these companies, millionaires, billionaires, but they can't figure out how to pay their people the same day. Meanwhile, that CEO, he could go without a paycheck for the next 10 years and be all right. But you got poor people living paycheck to paycheck, namely the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, living paycheck to paycheck, and they want to wait a whole week to give you your paycheck. You see how wicked this man is? Just off of this law, we can see it. All right, the law is light according to the scriptures, man. So when you turn the lights on, you can see what's going on around you. You're not in the dark. All right, these scriptures are the light. They tell us how this world ought to be run. And if it's not run this way, it's run wrong. It says, at this day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and setteth his heart upon it. Right, he's thinking about that money all day. While he's pouring concrete out there in the hot sun, picking cotton, or even in modern times, just, bagging groceries, whatever, taking phone calls, lest he cry against thee unto Yahweh, and it be sin unto thee. Right. So, our people knew this back in the day. That's why, our people, we have this spirit on us of mercy. All right, Esau is very merciless. Okay, but this was addressed to the nation of Israel. The laws were given to only to the nation of Israel. Okay, and the Lord, basically told us, look, if we don't pay people for their work on the same day and they cry against us, and the Lord hears it, hey, it's gonna be sin, man. We're gonna be punished for that. All right, because that's evil, man. All right, the scriptures, the law goes into mercy a lot, Doesn't the scriptures say mercy rejoiceth against judgment? Something along those lines. So, you got judgment, mercy, faith. All right, these are the weightier matters of the law, according to Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah was saying that. Let's get that real quick. Matthew 23 and 23. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Right. Yeah, because the scribes and Pharisees were teaching part of the law, and they were using the law wickedly. All right, using it for its technicalities to make themselves look good and to condemn others. Okay, it's not ought to be used like that. All right, now if somebody is evil, yeah, you condemn them. All right, but they were hypocrites because they would do the same thing and condemn people for this thing that the same things that they did, right? And they wouldn't even follow it sincerely, man. Okay, but yeah, just wanted to bring that out real quick. And let's grab another precept here. When it comes to the poor and mercy, all right? This is Leviticus 19 and 10. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard. Okay, let's get the word glean in the blue letter. Leviticus 19 and 10. Glean, alal.
Strong's H, 5953. Allow.
To act severely, to deal with severely, to make a fool of someone. To glean, to act or play the child, to insert, to thrust. To deal ruthlessly, right? You got poor people coming in, and you gonna take all the grapes out of your vineyard, not even one. All right, let's get this word glean in the dictionary. Salakia. My computer been bugging out. To glean, to overdo, right? To abuse. Let's get this word glean. To extract from various sources. To collect gradually and bit by bit, right? Gathering, collecting, extracting, okay? So now we go back. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape out of thy vineyard, right? So you got a vineyard, right? You got a vineyard here, right? You gathering the grapes, you collecting them, you bringing them in from the harvest, right? Okay? The scripture says not to grab every single grape. Why? Because you don't need every single grape. Why? Thou shalt leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am Yahweh, your power. You see? So this whole thing about draining resources, all right, that's against the scriptures. That's against the laws of life, man. Because people become unfortunate and people become poor. And you're supposed to have mercy, man. So what's more important? You taking all 100 grapes? God forbid you miss out on those 5 grapes. Well, you got the 95. The poor person got 0. So you telling me them 5 belong more to you than the poor person who got 0? Why don't you be poor for a day and see how it feels? You see? See, these are the ways of life, man. This is how life ought to be. All right, this is how the world ought to be governed. All right, let's grab another precept. This is Psalms 50 and verse 16. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, who is the wicked? Esau, Edom, the so-called white race. What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Right? You know, all these people that they say they believe in God, right? They swear on the Bible. They say this is a Christian nation, right? The Lord says, what have you to do to declare my laws? Right? Verse 17, seeing thou hatest instruction. Right? Here we are making these videos, and YouTube is out here shadow banning our videos, man. I've had 0 views in the past, for like the past 10, 20 videos, and then I'll wait a few days, I might get 1 or 2 views. All right? But you got a stupid ass video about some moles bouncing around, talking about, you know, jumping up and down, whatever. Talking about how they love Mo rights, or, you know, you got a video about Mr. Beast, all these different people, influencers, anything about Moism or womanism gets 1 billion views off the bat, right? But here we are teaching you the truth of the Bible. Mind you, the best-selling book in the world and the most stolen book in the world. And you mean to tell me people don't want to watch this? Of course they want to watch this, but it's up to the Lord who gets to see it and who don't. And the Lord controls Esau's stinking algorithm to either show you people or not show you people. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee? Right? And Esau casts the Lord's words behind him, because you mean to tell me that Esau and all his scholars has not read these scriptures about the poor? Yet they are the most oppressive, ruthless, merciless people against the poor. They've created hostile architecture. Look at this. Hostile architecture, also known as anti-homeless architecture, defensive architecture, or exclusionary design, is an urban design strategy that uses elements of the built environment to discourage certain behaviors, particularly those deemed undesirable by urban leaders. This often includes features designed to prevent people from sitting, sleeping, or camping in public spaces. All right, so they beating around the bush. Let me tell you what this is. These are benches that are created in a way that you can sit down on them, but if you lay down on them, it's extremely painful. Look at this. How demonic is that? So you mean to tell me there's a perfectly good bench here that the city paid for with billions of dollars of our tax-paying money, right? But you mean to tell me that that's too much to ask to have a bench for the poor to lay down? So they lay down here, and these metal shards are going to hurt their back, right? Same thing with this. You see these metal beams right here? And look at this. You're not allowed to sit because you got these spikes that'll go up your back. So now you got to squat down if you're poor. Look at this. Spikes under a bridge, man. So instead of fixing a problem and helping them out, they say, let's make life even harder for you poor people. Your judgment is coming, Esau. All right, because most of the people that fall into these traps that you lay out here are our people, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You damn Edomite devils are going to pay. You're going to pay. All right? You're going to pay, man, because these devils, they filled up their belly with all these riches. All right? And like I said, the point is you're supposed to give something to the poor, man. They don't give nothing. They take away and take away and take away and take away and take away. They're never satisfied, man. All right. And not to mention these corporations out here, these big supermarkets. All right. When the food is past a certain date, they just throw it in the trash. They're not allowed to give it out for free. They're not even allowed to give it out at a discounted rate. Nah, they got to throw it in the trash to be destroyed so that the poor don't get it. Because they're afraid if the poor get it, then regular people will get it. Because regular people would rather eat expired food than pay these crazy ass prices. And so it would ruin the pockets of these already rich CEOs. Right? So they grab these all this food right here that looks perfectly fine. They have to throw it away by law. I've spoken with these people in real life, and they tell me it's illegal to sell it to you. Look at this person says, "Dear Publix, why are you making us take food drive donations but then make us throw away 11 bags carts full of good bakery and deli items?" And that's a great question, because you go to these supermarkets, they always asking for donations. They always asking for donations for the poor, which is a fucking lie, man. That money don't go to the poor. That money goes back to these fat pockets. Salakia, I'm gonna have to cut that out. This money goes back to these devil's pockets. All right, maybe 1% is given to poor people in the form of a Big Mac sandwich. You know, you got these people on YouTube talking about they donating money to the poor by taking them out to McDonald's and ordering them a sandwich or whatever. That's what they get. And the rest of the billions goes to this guy, right? This imaginary guy, which, you know, that's the upper echelon of Esau society, man. You got the CEOs, and then even higher, you got the international bankers who call themselves philanthropists, which is a fucking lie. Let's get that. Philanthropist. Philanthropist, a person who seeks to promote the welfare of others, especially by the generous donation of money to good causes. The trust was founded by an American philanthropist, right? Look up any of the Rothschilds, Rockefellers. They call themselves philanthropists, but yet they have $500 trillion and you still have poor people in the world. So are they really giving? Or are they just throwing pocket change out there on camera to make themselves look good? Like, again, like I said earlier, all these YouTube guys going out and saying, look, I'm going to give 100 sandwiches to the homeless today. Look at me. Look at me. And then they go on camera and they show themselves giving it to poor people. And a lot of times they'll make the poor people work for it. Here, stand up. Do you like this sandwich? Is this okay? Asking them all these goofy questions, man. You see? Y'all ain't no philanthropists, man. The Lord knows your number, man. The Lord knows what y'all doing. That's why there's a spaceship up there, okay? And scientists said that radio waves have been detected. It's trying to communicate, or it's communicating. All right? Esau, your days are numbered, man. You better hurry up and push this mark, man. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Right? The Lord is waiting for the elect to be sealed, all right, before he returns. And he will not return until all 144,000 elect have been sealed, man. So the Lord is very merciful in that aspect, man. In all aspects, the Lord is very merciful. Verse 10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with great noise. Right? A thief in the night, he comes unexpectedly, man. All right, and that's how this thermonuclear destruction of America is going to happen, man. This place has to be destroyed. Y'all seen it, man. Y'all seen the wickedness and evil that happens against the poor. Okay, which most of them are Israelites. You see? You know, we're here in captivity. And those of us that are not fortunate enough to be in captivity, we're fucking homeless. You see? Let that sink in, man. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Right? The atomic bomb, the nuclear bomb, melts the elements themselves, man. Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Right? What type of mindset should we have? What type of conversation should we have? Verse 12, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Yeah, we got to look for this day to come, man, because we fucking hate this place, man. As you can tell by, all these examples I gave you, this place is wicked as all hell. Wicked as all hell, man. All right? This is not our rest. There's nothing here for us. Zero. All right? So we got to look forward to the day that this place gets destroyed off the map forever, man. All right? Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Right? Where there's mercy, where there's judgment, where there's faith, where the law is mandated, man. The law of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is mandated worldwide by us. All right? By Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua through his men. All right? We're going to be the judges in the new world. Lord's will, I'll be of the elect, man. That's a beautiful world, man. All right? This world's going to get cleaned up. The air, the water, the food is going to be clean. The women are going to be clean. The men. All right? The minds of the people. They're going to have the law of light. So they're going to be perfect. All right? All of our people, Israel, will be perfect in the kingdom. All right? And these other nations, all right, we're going to make damn sure that they strive for perfection, man. Because we're going to mandate these laws worldwide. And there's not going to be any need for Esau after the kingdom's established. So after those 1,000 years of slavery, he's going to be done away with. He's going to be rounded up and burned up one last time. Okay, that's the beautiful future that this world will have, man. But right now, all creation is groaning because of fucking Esau, man. All right, he makes no sense. His ways are not logical in any way. Okay? This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 4, verse 29. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, right? So this world which is sown, right? If it ain't turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, where's the evil sown? Here in this world, this wicked society. Okay, this age where Esau rules, right? If it doesn't pass away, then cannot it come that is sown with good, right? So the kingdom of heaven, perfection, perfect utopia cannot come until America is destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. Okay? Until Yahweh returns and destroys all these armies, all these nations that are joined together with Esau. All right? In order for pure perfection and goodness to come on this earth, the day of doom must come first. The day of doom must come first. And we pray that that day is soon, Yasharallah. We pray that that day is soon. That is the day of our salvation. All right, 2nd Ezra 4 and 29. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. All right, so yeah, man, it's like ripping a Band-Aid off. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be painful, man. But we gotta get this bullshit out the way so we can get to the kingdom, man. So, pray for the Lord to return. Pray for the elect to be delivered, because he's going to come anyway, man. All right? But we know the days are speeding up for our sakes. All right? We know the scriptures say that the just, complain continually, roughly paraphrasing, man. So we got to keep complaining, keep praying, keep begging the Lord to come. All right? And soon he's going to come, man. All right? This day will not tarry. All right? But you don't want the Lord to come as a thief in the night for you, meaning you were caught off guard. Right? Because he will come as a thief in the night, but you don't want to get caught off guard in that. Right? You want to be in the right mindset. Let's go back to 2 Peter 3, and we're going to go to verse 14. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that Ye look for such things, be diligent, that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. Right? So we got to keep fighting to be part of the elect, man. Keep making our videos, keep praying, keep believing, keeping the faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right? And fight that good fight. Salakia, fight that good fight to the end. All right? So I pray that lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect, giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwarash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. And a sincere shalom to the hopeful elect out there scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom wa abad babal. Shalom.